the extreme learning experience we went through all these fights. I mean, we would strike one of these plants on a wildcat strike, and the companies just control the courts. I mean, it's the same thing in the minefields. I mean, a judge would call the company call the judge, get him out of bed to have an injunction hearing on you. And you'd have to respond. So we learn a lot about who controls what. The lessons are innumerable over and over again about the tactics and the struggles that we had to use, how to broaden it and base our support in the community, that we could fight back and resist, how not to get tied down in fighting the battle on their terms, to establish what terms we're going to fight this battle on and carry it out in our interests and not theirs. All those tactical questions came out of the struggle just for survival inside the shops. And lo and behold, Chicago, by the time we finished most of those battles, then we confronted with this thing where all the robots began to enter the plant. And all the work that you've done to advance your cause inside the plant for jobs and things are now being eliminated in mass by robots. And the whole struggle for equality and stuff at the workforce has been transferred into a struggle for survival. Survival, plain and simply, because we got no way to live. And so that poses the questions we got now. Really, I mean, without jobs, how are we supposed to live? There are no jobs on the horizon, but does that mean that a job means that's your ticket to livelihood? I mean, you can't live without a job. Is that the kind of contradiction of the world we're fighting for? Because it's clear to us now that the robots are so much more productive than we were, that they don't need us in the workplace. So now we got to pose the question about how we're going to live in the current world. So you're talking about a real change in the system that we're living under. And for people's perspective of what the jobs have been so much. I mean, jobs is used as a discipline in the family. The kids get old enough and say, get out and get a job. Well, how you gonna do that now when it ain't none? What I mean? So this whole question of jobs and how we live and what kind of society we're gonna have and who got a right to live and who doesn't, who can eat and who can have a home and who can't. All those questions are being thrown into us as real moral questions that we got to deal with. And even though we fight to resist the attacks that's put up on us, we got to have kind of a vision of what kind of world we want. What kind of world do we see in front of us?